Aaron Rodgers will be the NFL's first $200 million man. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be discussing one of the biggest stories in the NFL right now, and that's the potential contract extension for Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers. As you all know, Rodgers is widely considered one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he's coming off an MVP season where he led the Packers to the NFC Championship game. With his current contract set to expire after the 2023 season, many believe he'll be the first NFL player to sign a contract worth over $200 million. Now, this is a big deal because it signals a shift in how NFL teams think about the value of their quarterbacks. In the past, quarterbacks were often paid similar salaries to other positions, but as the importance of the quarterback position has become more apparent, their salaries have risen dramatically. Rodgers in particular has been a trendsetter in this regard. He signed his current contract back in 2018, which was then the largest in NFL history, and since then, several other quarterbacks have signed even larger deals. However, a $200 million contract would represent a new level of commitment from the Packers, and it would solidify Rodgers' status as one of the all-time greats. It's also a testament to his exceptional talent and his ability to lead the Packers to success, despite facing some tough competition in the NFC North. Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network says that Rodgers and the team have agreed to a 4-year, $200 million extension. The deal makes Rodgers the NFL player who has made the most money. As part of the new deal, Rodgers will get $153 million. Jay Glazer says that Rodgers will be paid $50 million per season. Later, Rodgers said on social media that he'd be back with the Packers next season, but he cast doubt on the reported terms of the deal. Last offseason, Rodgers fought with the team. Before the 2021 season, there were rumors that Rodgers was upset with Green Bay's front office and wanted to leave. Rodgers changed his contract in the end to make it easier for him to leave the team at the end of the 2021 season. People thought Rodgers would do this by asking the team to trade him, but he reportedly chose to stay with the group instead. During the 2021 season, Rodgers gave Packers fans a reason to be hopeful. Reports said that Rodgers and the front office talked more with each other during the season. Rodgers said as much when he said he had good talks with the team after the season was over. For the first time all year, it looked like Rodgers might stay with Green Bay for at least one more season. He did more than that. He signed a huge contract that would keep him in Green Bay for the rest of his career. With Rodgers back, the Packers can still win the NFC and go to the Super Bowl. Rodgers won the MVP award for the second year in a row, and he still does excellent work. Even though he's 38, he hasn't shown any signs of slowing down. The Packers will again look to him to lead them in the playoffs in 2022. Even though Rodgers is back, the Packers still have other problems. Davante Adams is still a free agent, but the return of Aaron Rodgers could change his mind. Rappaport says that Rodgers' new deal frees up enough salary cap space for the Packers to use the franchise tag on Adams. Aside from Adams, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Equanimeous St and tight end Robert Tonyan Jr. are all free agents who can sign with any team. Lazard is a free agent with some restrictions. The move also leaves Jordan Love without a clear plan. Love was thought to win out in the end for Rodgers. Once Rodgers got into a fight with the team, it was thought that Love would probably get his chance in 2022. Love, who the Packers picked up in the first round of the 2020 draft, is likely to be put up for trade. Love has completed 36 of 62 passes in 6 games. He's thrown 2 touchdowns and 3 picks. Rodgers' new contract will keep him with the Packers for the rest of his career, even though he's 38 years old. When he decides to stop playing football, he'll be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame the first year he's eligible. It's silly to put too much stock in quarterback wins, but sometimes it makes sense. Rodgers is one of these people. He has a record of 90-45 overall and 9-7 in the playoffs. He makes everyone on that team better, even the defense, and he carries the whole team on his back. Rodgers is worth that much money. Yes, absolutely. Still, this brings up one important question. Can you still put a good team around Rodgers, Stafford, Matt Ryan, Andrew Luck, or Tom Brady if you pay them a lot? The answer is hard to explain. The real answer is that you can't, says Joe Banner, president of the Eagles, CEO of the Browns, and front office consultant for the Falcons. You're betting that the quarterback is so important and good that you can put less talented players around him and still win. Teams that spend $21 to $24 million and get a good quarterback instead of a difference maker are in trouble. It'll be very hard for them to win. Since there's been a salary cap, teams have had to figure out how to deal with this salary monster. But the problem that teams are dealing with now is worse than ever. The quarterbacks are more important to the offense, and there's more money in football than ever. The league's future will depend on how this money puzzle is solved. Super Bowls are won by teams that do the right things, like paying Brady. Teams that make bad decisions, like the Texans giving Brock Osweiler a guaranteed $37 million, will have a hard time. Banner says, if you have an A-plus quarterback making a lot of money and surrounding with B talent players, you can win. If you have a bad quarterback and a bad team around him, you're in trouble. This is why it'll work to give Rodgers a lot of money. He's not just a quarterback with an A+. He'll always be there. This is also why it's so risky to give Stafford a lot of money. He's a B-level passer, and the players around him are good, but could be better. Like other teams, the Lions don't have a choice. Teams are forced to take risks they wouldn't take with any different position because it's getting harder and harder to find people who can even play the position well. In 2013, Rodgers signed a 5-year contract extension worth $110 million. It had guaranteed money worth $62.5 million. Even though that was only 4 years ago, the contract needs to be updated. Spotrac says that Rodgers' annual salary of $22 million puts him behind players like Stafford, $27 million, Derek Carr, $25 million, Luck, $24.6 million, Drew Brees, $24.3 million, and Kirk Cousins, $23.9 million. No one should feel bad for Rodgers, but Cousins making more than him is like Yeoman Rand making more than Captain Kirk. Rodgers, for his part, says he doesn't care about his contract. When Alex Marvez of Sporting News asked Rodgers how Stafford's deal made him feel, he said, "What it means for me? I think it'll be a couple of years before we can talk about it again." He added, "I understand how this team works. They look after the guys who are important to them. I'm pretty sure I'm one of those guys. You negotiate based on what you and others have done in the past. I can't deal with that. That's up to my agent. I don't care about any of that. If something is supposed to happen here, it will. I think so, and I'd like it to be true. Again, though, those things take care of themselves. If you play well enough, you get another contract." Rodgers sounds pretty chill in those quotes, but if you've known him for even a second, you know he's a fierce competitor in everything he does. All the great ones are there. Rodgers probably doesn't like it when people outside his world make much more money than he does. When Brees heard about the deal, he sent a simple wow to his agent Tom Condon, who also represents Stafford. The Packers probably will immediately help Rodgers. It'll probably happen soon. Rodgers is too important not to give him a new deal. He'll get it. Aaron Rodgers can make NFL history with a potential contract worth over $200 million. Regardless of whether he signs that deal, it's clear that the NFL is putting a greater emphasis on the value of its quarterbacks, which is a trend that will only continue. Thanks for tuning in today, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more NFL content.